Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Live from Las Vegas. Well, as you heard, if some of my fans out there and friends, if you've been listening, I'm really ripped right now, so you'll have to excuse me if I say anything that's very appalling tonight. I'm looking forward to doing. I think we're going to have a good old time. Some of you stoners out there need to grab yourself a blunt, and you need to smoke while we're doing this show. That's what we need to do. I smoked some new stuff tonight. It just came out of the harvest that was growing, you know, and we picked it off the plant and I smoked it. It's as fresh as it fucking gets, man. You know, 420 for life. That's the way I look at it. I smoke it now. I'll be smoking it 3 months from now, 30 years from now. Hell, I'll be fucking 105 years old, all hunched over. I'll still be smoking that shit. Anyways, you know, a lot of paranormal people out there. You know, there's a lot of paranormal groups that despise us. I always say that all the time. But there's a lot of other great paranormal groups who I work with and talk to and so on. And one of my members says, you know, I listened to your last 2 radio shows or got caught up or whatever. You know, so people do listen in. I mean, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. And, you know, the lady writes me back. She's like, well, except for you having a potty mouth. It's like, what the fuck? This is AngelOfThyNight radio, you know? This shit's supposed to happen. We're supposed to say fuck live on the air. We're supposed to have the show uncensored. Otherwise, we can't enjoy ourselves any other way. We're not priests and fucking nuns. I'm not the fucking Pope. I'm the fucking Lord, all right? Big difference. I'm above the Pope. But anyways, it's a good show tonight, man, and I got a lot planned, and, you know, I don't care who calls in or if the saint wants to call in. I don't give a fuck, man. You know, it's all good. But anyways, as you can see, I got my sound system back, working that into the show again. On my next break, I'm going to go ahead and see if we have any callers, because sometimes, you know, we have callers on mute, and it's really hard for me to keep an eye on the show and keep, you know, I got the callers I got to patch through. It's a lot of work trying to host a radio show and all. And then you try to do it fucking smoking some of that ultimate kush, and you're like, what the fuck? I can't even think straight. Can't find my fucking papers, my articles. I'm looking for my fucking songs to play for the radio show. I lost half of them. Yeah, I'm like, Dijital, I need you to do a new piece for the show. And then we're going to just keep promoting you and keep promoting you, because I like to see my friends successful out there. I like to see, you know, generally all the people try to thrive and work together. And that's what being a community is all about, such as Daggy 5 will say, and in my community as well, you know. Back when I first started off, we used to have picnics. We used to have barbecues, you know. And sometimes, you know, I get like 10, 12 members that would show up. And we have a fucking blast, man. I mean, I remember one time I threw a Paranormal and Ghost Society party, and I ended up getting laid by 2 women. I ended up having a fucking 3-way. It's like, Jesus Christ, I should have more fucking Paranormal Ghost Society parties. You know, New York was the fucking bomb, man. When I lived in New York, I actually got a little bit after the fucking party, you know. I move up to try to go to Florida, I ain't getting shit. I try to go to fucking California. Well, I had sex in a fucking teepee, right? But anyways, you know, I come to Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is just that. It's off the fucking hook, man. I mean, I used to live here years ago, and it was half the size, but it's big. And, you know, the funny thing is, I used to hate the deserts, but the last couple of weeks, I have not felt the heat. I don't even sweat. You know, it's like I can go outside, everybody's like, oh, it's fucking hot. It's like, yeah, man. It's like I've adjusted real fucking quick. Us paranormal investigators, we're made to adjust in the weather. I mean, you know, you try being crazy like me. Go out in the fucking Pine Barrens, spend the night in the goddamn woods freezing, you know, everybody else is fucking cold. They're all rubbing hands by the fire. You know, I'm in my 0 degrees fucking sleeping bag. Of course, got a little hood. You put it over the fucking ears. You won't freeze your ass off. You can go for urban exploring for fucking weeks in that fucking sleeping bag. And, you know, that's what a lot of paranormal groups don't understand. You know, they think we're some serious group. And, you know, we're serious investigators. You know, obviously we want to live to tell you the story when we're out in the woods or out in the jungle fucking looking for Bigfoot and I'm calling for him and shit. You know, I want to live to tell about it. So, you know, we're a very safe group, and we are serious on our investigation aspects. But aside from that, when you are not investigating, what the fuck do? You party. That's what you fucking do. And that's what our radio show is about. It's about one fucking giant party, man. And anyways, the show's going to be very thorough tonight. I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is take a little bit of a breather. Do not worry, I am not fainting, I am not dying. But it is very important that we do take breaks within the show so we can promote other groups and you know, get some music going and stuff.
What's happening, my niggas? What's happening, my nigga? This your big brother, Hollywood. Hey, your little brother, Troy, my nigga. I see you been putting in work, man. Man, you know I'm on my time to step up to the plate. I'm coming out swing. Let's go. The way she look me up and down. I got left. The way the boy look past the clown. I got left. The way the haters try to talk me down. I got left. Come on, little mama, wipe me down. You know I got left. 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 I got left, little mama. I got left. 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 I got left, little daddy. I got left. I got left. Now when I step up in the club with my LG on, all eyes on me. I got leverage. Yeah, I'm fresher than the mother. I'm different from the other one. Undress me with your eyes, girl. I know you wish you coulda. I walk with a swing. I talk with a swing. Your boyfriend don't got no swag, so I suppose that's why he mad. fight me. I beat his ass and film it, now niggas calling me Spike. Well, my name is got so much land inside these streets. Yeah, them haters out y'all always trying to beat. Yes, sir. D-boy, he got so much smart inside these streets. Yeah, he never leave home without a key. Never.
The way she looked me up and down, I got left. The way the boy looked past them clowns, I got left. The way them haters try to talk me down, I got left. Come on, little mama, wipe me down. You know I got left. 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 I got left, little mama. I got left. 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 I got left, little daddy. I got left. I got left. The cutty ain't sitting. He flies so many days, man. I wonder how he got so much legs.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to Haters Thoughts Radio Hollywood. Won't you tell them how you got so much legs?
Well, first I had to struggle, learn a couple things, give respect in the name, you know, earn a couple things. I bust a couple moves, I slapped a couple fools, I packed a couple tools, and I taxed a couple dudes, throw a couple party, get a couple beats and murk, don't be original, don't make it sound like they already heard of me. And I don't spit on beats no more, I pick them up and burp them, and ask them if they smell me, and this is what they tell me. She looked me up and down, I got left, the way the boy looked past them clowns, I got left, the way them haters try to talk me down, I got left, come on little mama, wipe me down, you know I got left, 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 little mama, I got left, 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 little daddy, I got left, I got left.
I'm a new school nigga in the old school muscle car. Hit the club and the DJ tell 'em who we are. Let's go entertainment. We digging in your anus, paying cash for the whips. No loans, no payments. I'm smoking on that sticky icky just to get my hand right. I spend a pretty penny just to smoke 'em at the red line. And scoop your bitch pop round the corner just to get the hair right. My ground game vicious, so I might just get a hair. So what you do? I make a dig up in your pockets, now my bread right. Shit. Boy, you weren't wrong, nigga. Now my head right. That's how you play it, right? Thought you don't love her. See me in the club, now you all
The way
handcuffed.
she looked me up and down, I got left. The way the boy looked past them clowns, I got left. The way them haters try to talk me down, I got left. Come on, little mama, wipe me down. You know I got left. 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 I got left, little mama. I got left. 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 I got left, little daddy. I got left. I got left.
Y'all seen who putting in all the work. Y'all seen it. But your haters, just for you, a little extra work for you. Let me sing a little bit. He ain't got no legs now.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I had to take a little bit of a smoke break. It never hurts to smoke a little bit more when you're doing the show. The more you smoke, the better the fucking show, right? Hey. Anyways, now that I'm a little bit more calmed down, because, you know, you kind of get butterflies when you go on the air. But, you know, I'm not saying I got butterflies or anything like that because, you know, hey, anybody's welcome to call my show. I don't fucking care who you are. I don't care if you're a goddamn fucking elephant. You can call the fucking show. You can ask me fucking questions. We can talk about the paranormal. Or we could just waste each other's fucking time. I don't fucking know. I'm bored as it is lately. You know, that's all I do. You know, I stay at this household, you know. And it's really funny living here. You know, because everybody's like, Rick, you know, trouble finds you or you're always getting into trouble. Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I am always getting into trouble. I had gotten a ticket a couple weeks ago. My car was parked. I wasn't even associated with the car, but I got a ticket on the car parked right in front of the house. That's my first series of bad luck. Second series of bad luck. I live with my family, or my in-laws rather. Well, he kind of went insane a couple nights ago. All right, now you know he went insane. He was like, "I'm gonna fucking shoot you, and kill your cat." And I'm like, "What did I do to deserve this?" You know. So I sat there and I got thrown out, kicked out, man. I'm like, where the fuck am I gonna go? You know. Because I don't think they even have any money. I think if someone gambled it all away. Welcome to Las Vegas. You come here and you're fucking, oh man, it's bad. It's bad. You know, Vegas is one of those places like you want to stay away from. You don't want to come here and fucking live here and shit. Lose all your money, you lose your house, you lose your car. Pretty soon you're fucking taking the fucking Voterin. I'll tell you. But anyways, you know, he went nuts and he threw me out. I spent like $100. I went to go stay at a hotel, and I'm like, oh, this is the old hotel days of Lord Rick are fucking back, you know? I was at the Best Western I don't know how many times in California, you know? It's like they see me in there on the computer all fucking day chatting with Mike Dijital and everything else. So like, what the fuck? So I was all nervous about going in Arizona Charlie's. You know, I walk on in, and I sit there, and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, another fucking hotel. And I'm thinking the money's going to run out because I don't have a lot of money. So, you know, 15 fucking days in Vegas, and pretty soon you're like Star Wars, wandering in the fucking desert. Because it's like fucking Star Wars, man. It's like Star Wars here, you know. The whole fucking desert at night. Take a look at it at night and tell me what you think. It's crazy. It looks like another planet. I love the desert to a degree as far as exploring it, investigating it. You got all these little canyons and caves and mines, and you know, some of them, I've heard rumors that some of them go down a couple miles fucking deep. Imagine doing some urban exploring, going 2 miles deep under the fucking earth. I'm fucking game. Put me 2 miles down. I know I'll see some crazy shit down there, because nobody in their right mind is going to go down there but me. Someone's got to do it, right? So anyways, there's a place out here outside Vegas. I like to call the place hell. I mean, a long time ago, I lived here in Las Vegas, you know, and I tried to get a team of guys together, and what we were going to do is we were going to go down into these mines. Mines were a site of cult activity, burials, bodies, blood, bullet shells, shotgun shells, human sacrifices, magic, portal to hell, whatever you want to call it, and a door that moves. And many years ago, you know, it was my first paranormal expedition. And, you know, we didn't have a website back then or anything. This was like, you know, this was the 90s that I went out and did this. And that's the whole funny thing, you know. We got all these big name, you know, groups out there who try to, you know, they think they're going to compete with us. But, you know, I was doing this so much longer than most people. It's even like TAPS. It's like, whoa, man, I was there before you. I was there before TAPS, you know, in a lot of ways with the investigating and everything. But back then it was a hobby. And nowadays, you know, being a founder of a paranormal group, it's a lifestyle. And I make a lot of sacrifices. You know, at this point, the household I'm living at, they think because of what I do for a living is being a loser. And I have no regrets. I don't feel like a loser because I love what I do and because I'm trying to make something more of myself. But when you live in a household who doesn't understand the paranormal or what we're trying to do here, it's so disheartening. It's totally heartbreaking, you know. Your family is the whole thing is like, you know, is this person my family or are they not my family? You know, you sit there and you try to decide. And you know what family means? It's like a community. It's like an urban exploring group. Mike Dijital's Daggy 5, you know, it becomes like a family. You know, you spend time with these people. You hang out, you play video games, you drink beer, you smoke. You know, you go out exploring some fucking abandoned places. You know, in a way, you are a family. And I try to treat my paranormal organization like that. And wherever I move, wherever I travel, there's always going to be some members nearby. And, you know, I find those people are rather evasive because they're so scared because our ratio on paranormal investigations of seeing something is much higher than most paranormal groups because we will go 2 miles down under the earth and we will fucking call the aliens out, right? Stoned while we're at it. But anyways, looks like my presence live here in Las Vegas. I mean, it's going around really fast, and I know people are laughing like, who the fuck is this Lord Rick guy? But, you know, I've already gotten a couple emails from people just browse. I had like 2 people from Vegas already find our website and just fucking write me and be like, hey, I want to come along on an investigation. Serious. People are writing me and they're like, everybody wants to get involved, you know. One person wrote me and is like, you can come stay with me for the weekend and we'll investigate like 3-4 places near my house and you can investigate my house. And she knows I will investigate her house. She knows, but I'll probably investigate her too. Hey, you know, get a little paranormal. The double P's, man, paranormal pussy, you know. But anyways, yeah. You know, it's that ultimate cushion. It talks for me. It's like having a split personality, you know? You're like fucking good and bad, good and fucking evil. You know, 1 minute before you smoke, you know, you're just fucking sitting on the computer. You're on your boards posting shit, you know. It's like a sweatshop. You know, you got to come down on your members sometimes, and they get all, you know, offensive and shit. But, you know, and then, you know, I get so mad that I got to smoke one. And then, you know, everything's all good. So people say it doesn't have medicinal qualities. The fuck it doesn't. You know, it's like I was insane, now I'm sane. I just smoked one. I can think a little bit clearer and everything else. Anyways, you know, we're getting a lot of good responses from the West Coast. And you know, people that know me, I'm sure they're glad to hear that, because I have some girl who's a researcher up in Sacramento. She's starting to find me a bunch of Sacramento places so that when I get back there, I got a bunch of investigations lined up. She also found me these tunnels or catacombs that go underground. I plan on finding them. I plan on doing them, and I know how to find them. So there are some. I can't even fucking talk tonight. Jesus, must be Satan on the other end or something. But anyways, there are ways to get in, 1 or 2 ways. And we're going to do some tunnels when I get back to California. You know, we'll pray you pray to the Lord that there's no fucking earthquake, all right, because the big one's supposed to hit out there. But right now, we're live. We're live in Las Vegas. And what stays, all right, again, I'm backwards. Maybe I'm dyslexic. A lot of women say I'm dick-lexic. Anyways, what happens in Vegas stays in Las Vegas, baby. And this show is very much exciting tonight. And if anybody wants to call in, you can go ahead and call in. I don't care what you fucking ask. You could ask whatever you want, you know. I've tried to sway away from just a paranormal radio show. I've tried to make this show diverse, open-minded, various topics. It doesn't always have to be about the paranormal. You know, this is just a way for my members, my fans, my stoner friends, my friends, I can't say I got strippers. Not yet. But this goes towards everybody, you know. I mean, I enjoy doing the show. I mean, I've been doing this show for a pretty long time, it seems, and, you know, the episodes keep adding up, and pretty soon we'll be able to put those on CDs, and people will be able to, you know, pop them in their fucking CD fucking player. But anyways, they'll pop it in the CD player. You know, you fucking end up going jogging, you listen to Lord Rick. You fucking eating supper, you listen to the episode about the Last Supper. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing. It's, you know, what we got going on here is a great show. It's a show you can listen to for years to come. And we'll keep doing the episodes, and we'll keep doing it. I'll do them 10 years from now. I don't fucking care. We'll have so many of them, I don't know what the fuck we're going to do with the collection. We better take that shit to fucking Hollywood, you know? Mike, we can go to Hollywood together. We'll smoke at Hollywood, all right? And we'll explore. You name the place, I'm there, man. You know? Like I said many months ago, you know, a lot of people think it's about a competition, you know. They're always arguing with me about taps. They're like, Rick, why do you got to compete with taps? I ain't competing with taps, man. I actually do think I'm better than taps. And I know that's going to probably bite me in the ass, and I'm going to get people that email me hate mail, and then, you know, but that's my opinion. I think I'm better than taps, okay? Because I'm not putting on an act. You know, what you see is what you get. I got tattoos. Yeah, I got long hair. Yeah, I like to fuck. Who doesn't? All right, I'm a human fucking being. Why should I hide that from the world? You know, Taps goes on TV, you know, it's like watching a bunch of priests go into places investigating it. I'm not a fucking priest. I'm a paranormal fucking investigator. You have me live on TV hopping a fucking wall in the Air Force, you know, me jogging and you know, looking for aliens and shit. Of course, that one's going to bite me in the ass, too, because there's always going to be some idiot online that says, oh, you're a threat, and blah, blah, blah. I ain't no threat. Come hug me. I'm a big fucking teddy bear, rainbows and fucking butterflies, all right? How's that? And I am the Lord, so hallelujah, baby. But anyways, you know, there was a paranormal group out there that had written me, and, you know, he contacted me, you know, and wants to work a little bit with me, and that's great. You know, I'll work with other paranormal groups. You know, I'll do some of your shit, you do some of my shit. My shit might involve, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 miles of fucking hiking in one day, mountains, cliffs, waterfalls, fucking caves, fucking getting chased by grizzly fucking bears, and who knows what else the fuck's gonna get you out there. That's my investigation, but I do yours if you do mine. That's what working together is about. I mean, I love innovative, charismatic individuals. I look for intelligence, and anybody who can come up with a good paranormal investigation in Las Vegas, you fucking tell me. We'll fucking do it. Let's pick something that's really fucking, chilling. Send me out in the middle of the fucking desert. Give me a challenge. Let me at least have a shot at getting swooped away and eaten fucking alive. Jesus fucking Christ. It's got to be better than living where I'm living now. My food gets fucking monitored. I get fucking scolded like a boy. Go to your fucking room. Yeah, the Lord gets set to his fucking room. The other day it was, I don't like you. I'm gonna have you escorted out by the cops. The cops. Escorted by the cops. It's like, Jesus Christ, I'm playing Susie fucking homemaker here. Loads of fucking dishes. I'm cooking. I'm fucking cleaning. I'm doing everything. Plus running my paranormal society. And right now we're on the brink. Excuse me, I lost my breath. Getting stoned and all. But anyways, we're on the brink of getting my books out. They're done. It's a matter of if I want them published. I don't like the publisher I have right now, so that's why I haven't released the books. And the one's still getting edited. But I got to get my books out there. And I want people to understand, that what I do for a living here is not cheap. We have to buy our own equipment. We have to pay our own way for gas. Pictures, websites, all of it just costs so much time and energy. And I got yelled at today that it's not a 20-hour job, and it is a 20-hour job a day. When you get things, when you run a society as big as ours, it's always a full-time job. You got to be ready to act if a national TV network contacts you, or if an author wants to meet for coffee, or an editor wants to do a story, or you got disobedient members, which is always funny because I love fucking disobedient members. One person's like, please remove me off your list. Remove you off the list. What is this, fucking Santa Claus? Bad fucking Santa, Lord Rick? It's like checking that list to see if you've been naughty or fucking nice. I mean, Lord Rick Santa's come into fucking town. That's what it's fucking like, man. Take me off of your list. It's like, no fucking problem. Get the fuck off my fucking ass, too. Get out of my fucking ass. You sit there, you join my fucking board, and then you sit there and your mouth off, take me off. Yeah, get off, jack off, fuck off, screw off, what the fuck. Telling you, this is just some of the crazy shit that I go through. And I have this special part of the episode I always do with you guys. And I started it a couple of weeks ago. And I'm going to make it a tradition. And I'm a pretty true guy. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. But I think this is a good time to go over my sins of the Lord, okay? I'm going to tell you some of my sins. I'm not going to tell you all my sins, because some of my sins are pretty fucking bad, all right? Some of them. But I do angelic, deeds too. It's like good and fucking evil. And some people say God and Satan.
Hello.
Hello.
Would you please remove the gay porn from your chat room? Thank you.
There's gay porn in the chat room. It's very interesting how people make incoming calls and they never have any questions. There we go. Oh man, that's nasty shit. God damn. Mike Dijital, I need to give you powers, bro. You ready to have some superpowers? There you go. You have superpowers, bro. Like I said, Mike Dijital, you're a lord too. We're all fucking lords, right? Lords of urban exploring, lords of paranormal investigating. It's really, when you think about it, we're all alike in many ways. There, I just got rid of the webcam. This is like I said, this is a hard fucking job being a radio host. That's why I need a fucking couple co-hosts, you know? If I can call on up, let me catch my breath, because, hey, you know, I smoke a lot, all right? I smoke a lot of herb. It's good for me. It really is. And trust me, I can hold my breath about a minute underwater. I'm a great fucking swimmer. I'm great at a lot of things. You got to be a great swimmer in fucking Florida. I remember one time I was snorkeling way out in the ocean. Now, I'm fucking crazy. I go out where the 10-foot sharks and shit are. You know, I like sharks, man. I want to swim with the fucking sharks. So I go out, and I go out, and I go out, and one time I fucking went down, and my head was, like, right by a fucking giant barracuda's mouth, man. Like, you know, I mean, 4 foot, 5 foot, whatever, and the razor-sharp teeth. I was like, oh, man, beautiful underwater. And I do miss Florida in a lot of ways, but I don't. But then I look back and I think, you know, Florida is just swampland, and, you know, a lot of lightning strikes and a lot of rain, and then the hurricane season and the tropical storms that pass through. And then, you know, you got the hicks in Florida, a lot of hicks. You know, call them what you want to call them, hillbillies, hicks, whatever the fucks, rednecks, white trash. I don't fucking care, all right? But I lived out in it. I lived that way for 4 years. I had fucking palm tree out in my backyard, a fucking palm tree, all right? I lived in Florida. I know what Florida's about. I seen the space shuttle going over my fucking house. Got a joint in my fucking mouth. I'm sitting there watching the space shuttle. Like, this is the goddamn life. Yeah, it was a life. I had it good in Florida. Problem is that living in Florida, you know, you have to deal with things. You have to deal with fucking lizards and fucking giant cockroaches. There's some crazy shit that's out there. And I'm glad I moved from there. But then you think, you're like, I'm in the fucking desert now. First I could get no goddamn water at all. It's been cloudy all week. Hasn't rained. It actually had some good temperatures in Vegas, and you know, you can kind of tell that global warming's starting to take effect in certain places, because I've never seen it under 100 this time of year. And a couple days in a row, it got to under 100. So it's really amazing how the planet's just changing as you go 10 years to each place, or you revisit them. But anyways, I was going on about this place called Hell, all right? And I went there many years ago, and I did see a demon. I've also heard things, and I want to plan an expedition there before I leave Vegas. I could be staying in Vegas up to the next 6 months, which is fine. You know, we need a good tour of the area. We need that for our group to be able to host the show from here for a few months and, you know, get things going again, get our fans back, get people from out west who are really interested in getting involved. Because in California, I'm taking you, or you're taking me if you drive, you know, because I ain't got no windows in the Subaru. All right, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. But one of us is taking each other. We're going up to the fucking foothills. We're going to explore some mine shafts, man. Explore some fucking caves. Areas where lights have been seen in the fucking sky, and Sasquatch was seen. You know, I was in a Sasquatch area camping for a couple weeks out there. So yeah, but as far as Las Vegas goes, you don't have that luxury. There's a place called Mount Charleston that's heavily wooded. I don't know. I got to do research if there's been any weird sightings up there. I'd love to go at night, just be in the woods at night walking around, because I mean, it's all woodsy up there. It's not desert life on Mount Charleston. And of course, I can see Mount Charleston like right out the driveway here. And it's a really amazing place. So that's one paranormal spot our group could actually do. But I got these caverns, and they go deep, like I said, a couple miles deep possibly. And I would like to get a crew on in there, but the thing is that you have to rappel, because there's a 50-foot ledge that leads to another cavern, a lower cavern, but you got to rappel down the wall. B, you can cross a trestle, which is very rotted, and fall 50 feet to your death. Or C, you don't have to cross the goddamn trestle. You can do what I'm going to probably do. Jump it. Yeah, that's right. It's about an 8-foot jump across. And this old man, he can fucking do it. See, I call myself an old man because, you know, it's like the soul. The soul is thousands and thousands of years old, you know. You don't just become a lord for nothing. Lords are special. You know, lords oversee everything. Lord of thy night, Lord of darkness, Lord of hell, which is Satan, of course. Me, I'm just like, I like to be lord of everything, you know? I like my ghosts, my women, my weed. Why the hell lie? Why lie? But anyways, you know, I was going over before the guy interrupted me about whatever the hell was going on webcam. I closed my eyes when I fucking X that shit out, all right? I closed them. I don't want to look at that. What kind of pervert you guys think I am, man? Jesus. And I was going on about my sins of the Lord, you know. And I will tell you, I am a sinner. You think the Lord don't sin? The Lord sins. And I won't tell you all of them, like I was saying, but I thought about eradicating the human species. You know, because I sat down and I thought, how many jerks write me on the internet a day? And I was like, you know, these fucking human beings, most of them that write me, don't deserve to fucking be here. Think about it for a second. You ever look at a lion's ass? Guys have lions' asses, all right? Look at a lion's fucking ass, man. Look at a fucking chimpanzee's ass. They got ass cheeks and shit just like us. Humans are just an advanced species that's evolved and learned to adapt. Everything branches off and serves a purpose. I mean, it's just like manna. It's in the atmosphere. Things are meant to take off on their own and evolve. Cells split and grow and multiply, and you know, there's nobody knows how it works. It's fucking unknown science. But you know that, like I said, you know, human beings don't deserve to be on this planet. They're ruining this planet. The oil, the wars, the famine, you know, more and more, because see, what it is that back then there was only a couple thousand human beings on Earth. But, you know, when you start fucking like rabbits, you know, you got fucking John and you got goddamn Mary. John's like, I want 11 fucking kids. You know, 11 kids have 11 kids apiece. Pretty soon, man, you got yourself a fucking community. You got yourself, what do you? Army.
Hello?
That's what you got yourself. Hello. Welcome to our
hey,
show.
It's me.
Welcome to our show.
Hi.
I know who you are.
Oh, you know who I am.
Of course I do.
Well, I said I was going to call in. I said I was going to call in, like I always do.
I know your voice. I've known it for a long
so how's
time.
it going? Oh. How's it going?
I haven't heard your voice in a while, though, you know.
Oh. So, how's it going?
Not so good. If you want honesty live on the air, I'll give you honesty. Where I'm staying, nobody likes me here, and they literally want to throw me on the streets with just my car and take everything from me.
Oh,
so it's
gosh.
so it's like I'm in a very bad dilemma, because I have, the thing is being what I do for a living, it bothers people. It's not so much the paranormal aspect, it's that they don't understand what I'm trying to do. You know, and I've devoted my life to the paranormal. That's one reason why I'm not a working man, because somebody out there has to do this. Has to. You can't.
Oh, yeah, but you're really busy with this.
Well, the thing is that we're not about the money. These, you know, I live with people who think that it should make a lot of money. That's not what it's about. You know, we get donations sometimes, but it goes right towards equipment, gasoline. It's gone the instant I get it. You know, and that's the whole thing, is that people don't understand that the books we put out, they're important. It might save a life. People don't understand the paranormal, but when I can explain it to them or teach it to them, they're going to find beauty in it. They're not going to fear it. But these people I live with, you know, it's kind of funny, because I work about 8 to 10 hours a day on my stuff. You know, I'll update the site, I'll do my sends, I'll answer emails. And it's kind of funny. I'll spend 8 to 10 hours a day, and, you know, people are very ignorant towards the paranormal. So the people I live with, they like to point that out, that I'm not succeeding, when in fact I'm working every day on what I'm doing to become better and to become more, you know, more.
Well, you work very
more
hard.
Yeah, I work hard, and And I laugh because it's like this one has a drug habit, this one has a fucking gambling habit, this one has two personalities, you know, and it's like they all got, you know, something wrong with them, you know, and it's like that's the whole thing about criticism in humans. And so, and I was saying in my sins of the Lord, of course, you know, I thought about eradicating the human species. It would be just, you know, start fresh, like every other planet restarts fresh, you know. But I do believe there are human beings on other planets. I'm almost sure of that. Because our physical...
Too big of a universe for that.
Well, our physical makeup could be on any planet with water. The same DNA and everything else. And I do think there is other species just like us on other planets. I've always felt that. And that's one reason why I moved out west, is because I want an alien experience. I want to get myself abducted. And I've tried to do it. I've came pretty close. I've had lights and shit in the woods, and I'll be flashing and trying to, you know, be like, take me away, man, because it's an experience that should happen in every human life. To be able to go in space at least once, you know, fascinating, totally. So what about you? You got any paranormal hotspots in your area?
Not around here. Just LA, Hollywood, pretty much. But it's pretty much dead here. Just some UFO sightings, and a few haunted places, some cemetery. That's pretty much it. I sent some pictures a while ago of that cemetery. It's like the only place here, and that's it. Nothing big. But
well, I'm very excited because see, the Paranormal Ghost Society is about to start their first investigation in weeks, maybe months, really. So I'm really excited to be able to go out there Friday and do this investigation. It's not looking too good as far as the people going with me. Like one person wrote me and said their eyes are irritated and they may not make it. Another one said, yeah, count me in. And then, you know, she's ignoring my emails. And it's like, you've got to have the right people for this. You can't go out there and do this by yourself either, like I've been doing. The only reason why I do it myself is because of my trained experience to deal with the paranormal, to hike in the outdoors, what to look for in the desert when there's snakes. You know, we have to be survivalists, not always paranormal investigators, you know. So I'm going to be doing this very large, very creepy place. It's more of an urban exploration than it is a paranormal investigation, because this time of year is really hard to get paranormal activity. I don't know why, but I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those investigations that you hear ghosts, but you don't see them. You know, one of those types. Yeah, it's going to be more of an EVP type of investigation, and I'm going to be going through, I don't know how many, I think it's 2 or 3 stories high, but it's a really big place, and I will probably end up doing it right here in Las Vegas or something. But we got a few people who kind of offered to go. It's going to take more time for me to reside in Vegas, because we got to try to get people who are really into this type of shit. And it's not easy to find, you know. I mean, people are very scared of what they don't know. Everybody writes me that I all want to be a paranormal investigator. They're like, is it going to be like TAPS? Hell no. It isn't. You know, you're going to go down in some mine, and you're going to hear a fucking scream or something in the mine, and you're going to be like, what the fuck was that? You know?
You see what TAPS does, though? They go into houses, and they sit in bed, sitting down in bed, saying, is there anyone here who wants to communicate with us?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're here to help you. And that's all they do. It's so funny.
I don't like them guys. It's nothing personal. I do not like them guys. And I'll tell you what, it's because, to me, I find it very humorous. You know, the whole thing about doing this is being real. You got to be true to yourself to be true to other people. You know, I'm very true about who I am as a person, and I have passion in my work. But see, them guys, they get paid to do what they do. That's the difference. That, you know, people say, well, they don't get paid a lot. It's a whole different ballgame.
It's a whole story. It's a
story
that they come up with. It's a water rooter. They
well,
can't.
you know,
They can't be doing two things at once.
Well, they had content, well, the whole thing is I had a producer contact me once, and he said, Rick, I want you to do a show. And the producer was going to let me have free range. I choose the places, I do what the fuck I want, no matter how dangerous it is. And he was cool with that, you know, because I ain't here to play around. You know, I want to see things, but I cannot see them unless I take a few risks. Going out to Area 51, I want to do it. I've been on Area 51, but on the outskirts. It's actually the size of a county, and they just put new structures up on the base. And, you know, people are, well, they're talking about it, and I guess it's drawing more people out there now. People want to go out there to see UFOs, but it's not really UFOs out there. It's government test crap, you know. So that's what's going on. But, well, I'll be going out maybe there while I'm here in Vegas, but a lot of people write me and they're like, I'm scared to go. I'm scared. I don't want to trespass. You know, you have to trespass to be a good paranormal investigator. And there'll be a lot of paranormal groups that will argue with me, but the truth is that if the ghost knows you're setting up the investigation, the ghost is not going to play with you. If you just walk into a fucking place and you start snapping photos, you're going to get yourself some ghosts. Sometime you will get your apparition on film. And, you know, we have to take our chances. It doesn't matter if, you know, we go out in the desert and it's land we're not supposed to be on. We have to go out there to see that fucking these dragons they talk about in the desert. You know, we have to do those things to be a good paranormal group. And over, you know, I've had a long time off because I have not done any investigations since like February. You know, I did one in February. I did a lot of urban exploring up in California, where I went into these mines and just looked around. But we haven't really done anything, so Friday's our first day back on the job. And, you know, we should actually do pretty good. If we can get 2-3 individuals out there from this area, it's gonna grow on everybody. So I think Las Vegas will be good for the group for now.
Yeah. What happened with the show, though? The producer?
Huh?
The producer you were talking about, though. You were saying something about the producer. What happened
the
with that?
The producer asked me to send him a film. Okay, we swore in that film. There was no goody-goody film. It was a straight-out urban exploration, ghost investigation combined. And we took the fucking video, we walked into place, we filmed it all, and we gave the producer the footage. The producer said, yeah. He said, you are it, you know. But the problem is that you cannot get time slots on television if all these other ghost groups got TV shows. It doesn't matter who's the better group, but as long as them slots are filled, nobody's going to get a show. You know, you see all these shows like Most Haunted, Tapped. Those shows have been around, and as long as they stay around, other groups like mine, we're never going to have it. We're not going to have that shot to be able to go on TV and you know, tell people this is my theory. This is what I believe. This is what I've experienced. You know, and trust me when I tell the world this. You know, I'm a well-traveled man, and you know, 700 something investigations or explorations. You know, you can't count that on your fingers. That's a few years worth of work right there. I've seen a lot of places. I know all this crazy shit that exists out there. I've been there, I've done it. And I think that should be displayed publicly. I think that millions of people need to know some of the shit that I've seen in my life. They need to know that this is real. My message is more important than my life, let's put it that way. My message is bigger than me that I'm trying to get across. And, you know, I am a very good paranormal investigator. I consider myself a good one because a good one learns from his mistakes. You know, I know what to do and not to do. And when if I go on investigation with you, if something were to happen, I know what to do in that situation. Because, we do a lot
you're
of...
very
Yeah, we're
very protective.
Yeah, I'm very protective. I don't know why in the past so many other groups were like, going on about how I'm not cautious. I had a paranormal group bitch at me about that on my interview. They were like, you're not a cautious investigator. Well, it's not true. If I have to sit there and fucking take a fucking branch and beat the shit out of a bear so my investigators are safe, I do it. Because they are my responsibility. And I took a guy out to it was like a mine up in Jackson. That guy was straight out scared. He left me and took off running. And this is pretty strong. He was 6'7". He's a big guy. Yeah. He's a giant.
Jeez.
And he fucking
ran
out.
He left alone in the cave.
Yeah, well, he ran from me and left me there. He left me. And that's not the type of paranormal founder I am. I don't leave my investigators. I've had investigators get in their car and go. And that brings me to my story I want to discuss tonight, which I never really disclosed much to the public about this story. I did, but I didn't out of respect for the individual. But about, what the fuck was it? Okay, 6 years ago, before I moved to Florida, or actually it was 4 years ago, 4.5, but before I moved to Florida, I wanted to go to Fort Niagara. It's one of the most haunted places up in the Ontario, Western New York area. Haunted fort, lots of blood, 1700s, different colonies ruled it. And I wanted to go there, and I didn't know what I was up against, because, they got security driving around. They have the snow was 3 feet on the ground. There was ice. You had to get in the fort, you had to climb the spikes. Now, if you fell on the spikes, you would get stabbed or impaled. So I had to be really careful to maneuver my body up and over. And I remember, I went in that place, and I got to the other side, and my investigator blew up at me because he kept going up the hill, sliding down the hill, going up it, sliding. And he just kept falling on his chest. I started laughing. I just thought it was so funny because it was like a funny moment in time. It was like, it took me like, my first time I slid a little, and my second time I just revved it and got up to the top and held my body on because snow is slippery. In investigations in the winter, you slide down, you fall. But anyways, I got up to the top. I tried to help him. Eventually he made it after he was like blue in the face and everything else, and he's like, I fucking quit. Right to my face. He's like, fuck you. I ain't climbing another thing. I hate the paranormal. I'm like, well, you didn't sign up for it. Yeah, like, you didn't sign up for the paranormal, man. I'm like, you've been investigating for months. You knew, when you investigate for months for my organization, you know what the deal is. You smarten up and you know that what we're doing is very extreme. It's a lot of adrenaline. It's a lot of exploring, a lot of hiking. It's a lot of work. You go out all night Saturday, stay out all fucking night investigating, and then you come home. I mean, you're just like, wow. And you see 3-4 places in one night. It's like, whoa, overload, But he ended up walking out, and he fucking left me there. Problem was that I left my jacket in his car. So here I am standing in the fort, and he took off. Well, he ended up going in a ditch and getting stuck because he panicked when he got to his car because he had just left the founder of the Paranormal Ghost Society. He left me. He left me there to die. It was a snowstorm. I was in the fort. And it was like, I ain't getting out this way. I got in this way, but, you can't get out the same way because now I'm in the fort, deep in the fort, And I look to my left. I see a being. It doesn't even look human. It was like all black. It was on his hands, on his legs, and it crawled past me about 40 miles an hour. And it was crawling on the ground. It was like that movie, I can't think of that movie, with the ghost in the house that recently came out. It's like at the tip of my tongue, but it's like that ghost movie where the black being or that female decayed ghost is crawling on the ground real fast. That's what it reminded me of. And it looked right at me when it crawled past. I caught it out of the side of my eye. Like, is that a fucking ghost of a soldier crawling? It was fast, you know? It was real. I wasn't stoned back then, you know? I mean, and even if I was stoned now, you know what you see with your eyes. You see something crawling on the ground right in front of your eyes, what else is it, you know? You having a blackout? No. So this thing crawled, and this thing followed me because I had to get out of the fort, and I seen it in the woods again. So I had this fucking being fucking chasing me, crawling fast on the ground, snapping twigs, following me. And I walked in the woods for like a half mile with snow, and I was wearing a short sleeve shirt, blizzarding, I should say. 3 feet of snow on the ground and hard snow and wind blowing. Just got done investigating Fort Niagara. I took a lot of pictures. None really came out because of the blizzard. And I went into a fucking pub, and I took a taxi cab like 50, 60 miles, or whatever it was. I think it was 32 miles or 40 miles. But I had to take a taxi cab. The taxi cab driver was fucking drunk. Swerving all over the road, yelling at me, "What's the matter with you?" He's like, "What's the matter with you?" You know, he's like freaking out. The guy's like fucking lecturing me. "I had to come pick you up. You better pay me." And oh man, the guy went off. He's all over the road. Do you know what I did? Do you know what I did? I sinned.
What did you do?
I pissed all over the fucking taxi cab inside.
Oh.
Here's the thing, I had a bladder infection, all right? Because sometimes you got to drink cranberry juice or, you know, vitamin C juice and all that. I wasn't drinking juice until I got a bladder infection. So I drank a bunch of juice that night, and I took azo pills, which azo pills make you, like, you know, they cleanse your infection out of your bladder. So I take the azo. I'm overdosing on the azos. You know, I take 3, 4. I got to piss like a fucking racehorse. This guy pissed me off. I said, "You motherfucker." I said, "Now it's my turn." And I pissed all over the back of the cab. All over, you know, that's what happened. And stained the seats, and then and then he came up to the door to get the money, and I just laughed as he drove away because, you know, of course somebody else is going to fucking, you know, jump on it. You're going to jump on it, they're going to sit on that shit, and he's going to get blamed for it, and he's going to lose his job. I'm bad, aren't I? But it is, no, seriously, it is my right. I mean, the guy was sitting there driving me drunk, you know? It's like, this guy can't drive a cab. He's putting my life in jeopardy. I got children. You know, it's like, if I got to do what I want to fucking do. So anyways, you know, I ended up having a really bad time with that investigator because the paranormal made him crazy. It really did in the end. It fucks with your mind when you're out there. Mm-hmm. I mean, I one time took a girl with me to the Buffalo State Asylum. My opinion, is still one of the most creepiest places I've ever been. Not so much me, but sometimes your heart will race at night in that place. 3 investigations there, 2 of them were with this girl. First one, she couldn't sleep for days, weeks, had to have the lights on. Second one, it traumatized her. Because in that asylum, when I took my party with me, we had screams, doors slamming, figures walking, people looking down in the windows at us. It was like fucking being in a haunted mansion at Disney World. Yeah, Disney World. But you know, it's just, I've had that sort of paranormal happen to me. And I keep pushing on what I do, and it doesn't matter what people think, you know. Right now, if I end up being thrown out, it's me because Pig does not want me to have the kids. But anyways, if I end up being escorted out by the cops or something like that, I probably will end up staying with a member. I've had a few members kind of offer me a place to stay. I've had a few. And that's what would happen, and then I probably would not be online or have the show probably for quite a few months, you know, because maybe a few months. Cause I don't know what's going on, you know. I never know day to day anymore because when I went up to California, I ran into all these little mishaps. But the paranormal is great out there. But the fact is that in California, most of the people are going through a recession. There's a big recession going on in California, and a lot of people are just hurting, and everybody's trying to screw everybody over. That's why you can't get no housing out there. Apartment living is the only way to go in that state up in the Sacramento area. And then someone had written me, and did you know they told me that underneath Sacramento is an old tunnel system, and it's very haunted, and I would like to go check that out, actually. It's over by the river, and there's rats in there, and it's probably going to be some old tunnels, because I guess the tunnels are over a century old. So it's like we're going to be doing those tunnels, you know. I look forward to going back to California, but Vegas is a great place too. And I hope to not spend any more than 6 months in Las Vegas, but you know, it's great. I mean, in a lot of aspects here. I mean, there are a lot of paranormal spots around the desert, you know.
Yeah, and also like from the Old West, the little ghost towns in the desert.
I'd like to go to some of them.
Really
I really would. Well, somebody had
Calico.
written Calico.
Calico's a great one.
They're everywhere, and there's a lot of dirt roads. One of the guys that I live with was with his ex-girlfriend years ago, and was driving outside of Las Vegas in the desert. And all of a sudden, he passed 2 black vehicles with tinted windows and government plates, and he started being chased by these guys. And they chased him out of the desert. Those were government vehicles, Suburbans, big Suburbans in the desert. He said the lights were off, and he's just driving, all of a sudden just passes them. You know how the light will hit something? Because that's how the desert is. You don't see nothing till you're about 50 feet, not even 20 feet in front of it, and you're like, shit, what the fuck is that? Something running through the fucking desert. There's some shit out in that desert.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Also, people die on the side of the road, and you see things sometimes, especially late at night. You're driving by. Sorry, there was this unexpected sound in my computer. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's true.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's true. Like, you're driving by the road, you see those things.
Yeah, I think that there are some roads that I've been down outside of Vegas that were just creepy as shit. I one time had sex out in the middle of the desert, and it was pretty scary. I felt like I was bearing my ass to something. I felt like something was looking at my ass. It bothered me. I don't like my ass being looked at while I'm in the desert. I don't care about it in the bedroom. I mean, it was that feeling of, am I being watched? I always feel an alien presence in the desert. I don't feel ghosts a lot, but I feel when I am out there driving down those desert roads at night, I feel a stronger presence. It's very alien-like. It's almost like they're all hiding out in the desert. You can't see them during the day. But I've had a couple friends who went out in the desert doing what I do, and they got abducted. The one girl was always in tears, crying. She wouldn't talk about it. Just that, I think there was like 10 beings standing around her fucking car one night, or like she got out, like there's a lot of people will park and they'll hike past sunset. They tell you not to hike at sunset at all these recreational areas in the mountains of Vegas. And you fucking get up in the mountains, and what do you do if you can't get back before sunset? And that's where these people are being taken. They're being abducted because they're not making it back to their car. So this place is very big for me for the investigation, you know. And I don't know what kind of presence we're going to make in Vegas, but we're going to try to do some of those big investigations and see if we can come up with something, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to do. Well, we're going to start getting more into videos too, our group, because that's something we really don't have a lot of. And plus, we can always put videos and shit on YouTube, which is great, you know, from an investigation or some strange lights out in the desert, you know. We can always do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really cool. Get some more exposure like that.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely need it, you know. And, of course, this radio show and stuff, you know, like I said earlier, on the radio show and everything, is that a lot of people don't understand it. You know, we're not just a paranormal show. It's a comedy show too. It's because it's relief for our members. It's relief for me. It's relief for everybody to get together in the chat room, talk. I don't watch the chat room, so anybody that calls in's got to let me know what's going on, of course. Because
I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't know if I should just talk or... I don't know.
You could do whatever you want. This is AngelOfThyNight Radio. On this show, anything goes. Just about anything.
Oh, I know.
I don't like that gay porn they were posting because, you know, I'm very much into women. I love girls. Girls are soft. Girls are pretty. Girls smell good. But, you know, the thing is about women is you can't live with them, but you can't live with them. See, here's the whole thing. Here's the whole thing. Now, this is not trying to be chauvinistic or biased or anything, all right? But I have been treated very poorly since I got to Las Vegas. You know, by some of the women are just really bad here, really bad. You wouldn't think it, but it is true. And I thought about it all day. I said, what's the difference between a bitch and a whore? Well, see, the bitch leaves you with your balls fucking hanging. The whore takes everything from your balls.
Oh, dear.
But the whole thing is I used to live in Vegas, and I used to be online back in the old days, you know, where computers were like $3,000, now they're like $300. But back then I had, you know, I got a computer and I started going online, and I never had a problem with hookers and whores and prostitutes and stuff. But now that I removed back here to Las Vegas, I get 2 to 3 to 4 hookers a day messaging me. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. You know, granted, I go on Craigslist, I post here and there too, you know, because, you know, I like to make new friends. I like to meet new people. But, like, a few days ago, I had an incident happen to me, all right? And it's a very funny incident. I'm not ashamed to tell anybody it, because this is AngelOfThyNight Radio. I'm going to share everything about myself, as long as my fans share some stuff about themselves. But anyways, we ended up going. I'm trying to think about the story here, and you will have to hold on because I need to get something to drink because I am in a hot area, about 109 on the scale, and I don't want to pass out during the show. But I will be right back with my story on the hooker. Okay, stay tuned.
Okay.
AngelOfThyNight Radio. realize that I'm not always at the chat room, but somebody said hi to me, and it's Christian. What's up, man? And as far as anybody else that said hi to me, thanks. Keep in mind, the thing is with the chat room, you can say whatever you want to say, but, make it tolerable, because we're all here to have a good time, and, it sucks when people out there, they want to fight. Everybody likes to fight. I mean, it is true, humans do like a good argument. But anyways, I was going to go on with my story. I'm just checking the chat room, make sure everybody's behaving, and I see a lot of interesting conversations. But there was this hooker, okay? And, I posted an ad on a Craigslist, I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a Spanish girl. I like culture. It's whatever I'm in the mood for, But anyways, I post the ad, the girl responds back, and she says, how much do you got? I'm like, I ain't paying you, man. I said, you pay me. I do photo shoots as a part-time job, And so we start talking, and then, two guys cancel on her because she says, I'm a beginner escort. This is my first day doing this. And I was like, whatever. This girl's just trying to, talk big and stuff. So she calls me up or whatever. She says, hey, I want you to come over. I want you to help me move. And I'm telling her, I'm like, okay, but, here's what I want. I want a favor for, a little something for something. Whether you get me stoned or whatever, but I want something, Because I'm not going to sit there and she has no air conditioning. I'm not going to sit there in the 100-degree heat moving boxes. Show up at this girl's house. She's like, fucking, what the fuck do you call that? A dog? Yeah, a dog. That's what she said. A dog. This girl was like nasty, and I'm thinking she's sitting there telling me on how some 19-year-old guy needed to be blown. Sitting there telling me this. She's like, I felt sorry. Well, he paid me gas. I'm like, I'm sitting in this girl's house. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, So anyways, I got drunk the other night. Because you know me, I'm all about the party. I love to get stoned, and, there's nothing wrong with sitting back with a nice bottle of wine. Drink the fucking thing. Drink some wine, chill out. It's good for you, You're Jewish, right? So you understand about the importance of wine. I mean, wine's good. Wine's in California. You should drink it. But I got drunk the other night. It was bad. And she kicked me out. Girl, this hooker kicked me out. Didn't even thank me for moving her box. She's like, you need to go now. I got an appointment. I'm really busy. I gotta go. It's like, yeah, you're not making no money. Actually, what it was is I had $2 in my pocket. I was really down and out. I just left. I just wanted to hang out, I dropped the $2 in front of her, and her jaw fucking dropped. She looked at me like I was fucking homeless. And I thought, wait a second, I am kind of homeless, It's not my permanent residence where I'm staying. They don't even want me here. They're all freaked out by the hoodoo, voodoo, the ghost and shit, They all believe in ghosts. Yo, hello.
No. Please remove the porn from the chat room.
Porn posted. Mike Dijital, you got the power to remove. Hilarious.
Well, that's what the haters like, I guess.
Huh?
I guess that's what the haters like. They want to see stuff on my webcam.
I have no idea what the deal is with the cams. I can't even, as of right now, I can't even get in the chat room. I have to, reload it. Sometimes our chat room's lagging and very slow. That's the only thing bad about it. Let's see if I can rework this. See, that's why this show needs multiple co-hosts, because we just need people that are gonna keep an eye on stuff like that. But anybody who wants to just turn on their webcam just to say hi, go ahead and go for it. So anyways, I meet this hooker, and I'm hanging out at her house, and one of my friends was like, what are you doing hanging out with the hooker? I'm like, well, I really didn't know she was like that, you know? I go over to move boxes, and the girl's, like, hinting about money and, you know, constantly and stuff. And she throws me out of her house drunk. I was drunk. I mean, I had a little bit too much to drink. She's like, you can go sleep in your car. And I'm like, sleep in the car? Nobody, who would sleep in their car without any windows in Vegas? The black widows that crawl around at night and fucking, you know, there's been a lot of shootings too here. The crime's tripled in Las Vegas. But anyways, what we're going to do is I'm going to go on another break, because as you can see, I left the chat room so I can re-enter the chat room. I'm going to go and get myself another drink. If all of you want to toke one up and party a little bit till I get back, I'll be right back with the rest of the episode, the rest of what I want to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on the music for a little bit, okay?
Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you're going hate this, you can fucking bite me. I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane. Making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains. I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things. Gonna make a fucking name, I just wanna be famous. But I don't want that cheap fame, no I'm not that vain. I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you're going hate this, you can fucking bite me. Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent. And it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots. If I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. Bad energy is like a poison, needs some antiseptic. Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you're going hate, bitch, you can fucking fight me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you're going hate this, you can fucking bite me.
If anybody, well, Mike Dijital, you got the full reign of the room. You're the moderator. If you're still not a crew member, that's okay too. Because whatever user does whatever, that's at their own risk, and they agree to abide by the terms of service of our host, which is now live. So yeah, I'm going to stay out of the room, so don't be alarmed if I'm out of the room for a while. But sometimes we have connection problems. Right now, what I did is when I hooked up my PC so I could get things going around here in Vegas and stuff, I had to go ahead and hook up a wireless connection. problem is that it likes to drop connections constantly. We'll be up for like 2-3 hours, sometimes 8 hours, sometimes every 15 minutes. And what it does is it just resets itself constantly, and then I got to go in, I got to reprogram it. So it's really hard to be able to run the chat room and try to run the show. You know, so I'm going to stay out of the chat room for a little bit because I was getting caught up reading and everything else. But I usually will read it after the show for some people that want to say hi or whatever. And if you want to say hi, feel free to call in our show, just like Millie's done here today. And is there any other callers on the line? Just because you're going to have to speak up if you do call very clearly, because I can't watch the chat room. Then again, I like to slack. So why be in the chat room? It's no fun. It's better just to be able to run the show. But you know, you do call in a lot, Millie. And if you ever want to be a crew member, like Mike here, I'm sure that you could be a crew member or something sometime.
Well, I do have to go pretty soon.
Mike, well, see, the thing is that I have to administer Mike Dijital the rights. Just like my first 5 members are my crew members. And, you know, it's a pretty good thing, except what I think now Live should do is that if you're a crew member, you should already have the moderator abilities during the show. You shouldn't have to set those because it lags a lot. So sometimes you got to reset the chat room, and then you lose your moderator status. That sucks. But anyways, so the other night I got lost. Vegas is big. You get lost wherever you go now. It's huge.
Yeah.
But here in Las Vegas, I got lost. I was up in the mountains the other night by myself, riding around in my Subaru. I was up in the mountains. I was stoned. I had a few drinks. I did not drive drunk. I let most of the buzz wear off, then I took off for home. And I was driving up in the mountains. Yo,
Ricker.
Yo, what's up, man? Who is this?
Oh, it's Dijital. Hey, I just wanted to tell you, I don't know what's going on in your chat room, dude, but somebody's running some virus-like script that's making my Flash player go fucking crazy. It started as soon as that porn shit started coming up. I had to refresh. I got no more, mod powers in the chat room. Someone's, seriously bombing your chat room with Linux script, dude, and it's crap. I can't even listen to the show. I literally have to refresh, every, 2 minutes. Whoever's in your chat room, you just need to, go in there right now and ban everybody. Because someone's just effing around. And if you can IP ban, because I can't do that, IP ban everybody. Because, dude, seriously, I can't even listen to your show. Whoever it is just trashing. It keeps crashing my computer. Someone's running something. They loaded a bunch of porn pictures up too in the picture thing. So I don't know if something in there. And then they were talking about hacking into your password with Linux using root this and that. I don't know. You should read it though, dude. Seriously. I don't know what's going on, but I can't even listen to the show. Like I said, it's crashed on me 3 times. I was I could barely get the number up to come up just to give you a call to let you know what the hell's going on.
Damn, dude. Well, I can't get in the chat room right now, for one, so anybody that was listening can call in the show. You know, they can call in the show if they want to speak, because these episodes are recorded.
You can't. No, you can't. You can't even. Whatever script that they're using, even when you go to hit the call a show button, none of the buttons work. It just completely kills the whole thing. Everything, all the buttons die. Everything's junk, useless. You have to refresh, and then you get all sorts of crazy flash errors and stuff. It's crazy, dude. They have your chat room. The only way people are going to be able to listen, if they're listening right now, is to go to your MySpace or something and use the player. But I'd stick clear of the chat room. That's bad news right now.
Can you go into the Now Live homepage? That's where I'm listening from.
Yeah, whatever you do, just don't be in a chat room, and you should be okay. It's just whoever's screwing around in the chat room right now is playing Linux script, and it's, then obviously someone knows what they're doing, and they're having their way with your show tonight. So, what are you gonna do? So, just a little warning to anyone listening is jump out of the chat room and go to Rick's MySpace page, and you can listen to it there without all the hullabaloo that's going on in the chat room right now.
Yeah, some people listen from MySpace. Some people listen to the show from the widgets that I got set up and everything else. But I probably won't be able to get back online tonight. And if they want to wreck the chat room, they wreck the chat room. What's important is that the show itself, because anybody could re-listen.
Yeah, I'm more worried about anyone. I'm more worried about anyone that was in the chat room. Like I said, I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm going to restart my computer, and hopefully the errors stop. But I'm getting a weird error all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering if someone's bombing the room with a virus or some shit. I don't know. Just giving anyone a warning. If you're like good people and you're in the chat room, you probably want to get out of there because it's just bad news. So there you go. That's my good deed for the night. But I got to let you all go. It's a school night for me, so I have to work in the AM. But yeah, just throughout the show, Rick, you might want to just stop every couple of 15 minutes or so and just remind people, like if you're listening in the chat room, you're better off to listen to the show externally via anybody's webpage who's hosting it. I forget. I think I got it on my Facebook. I'm sure you got it on your MySpace. And I would just direct people to that. Tell them to just jump out of the chat room because
I would recommend that.
You can get a lot of flash hours. So yeah, just let people know as you continue.
Yeah, definitely. I usually have to reset my modem. Well, someone just reset it, so I can't get online anyways right now. That's the whole funny thing about it. It's like, once you reset it, you got to reprogram everything, the router, my wireless, and it's been reset, but I'm working on it while I'm doing the show right now. Because it usually only takes a couple minutes now to fix. I'm like an IT wizard lately. But I don't think I won't go into the chat room if it's like that,
Yeah, it's like bad news. I think it's someone streaming a gay webcam, and I think it's just it's screwing with the Flash player. I think because that's when it really started happening. Whoever's doing it, probably not one of your fans. UER just had their big stupid meet, so they're probably all excited. Agent Skelly, Avatar's best friend, was just in your chat room calling you a bunch of names. So who the hell knows? It's always fun. But anyway, like I said, I have to hit the sack. I have to be responsible and work in the morning. Unlike other people who are just going to bomb your chat room all night. So, hey, have a good show, and just keep reminding your listeners to stay out of the chat room. Bad news.
Yeah, man. If I can
and
get back online,
I bid you too. Yeah, and I bid you all good night. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right, man. Peace out. And everybody, that is Mike Dijital from digitalphotography.com and Daggy5 forum. And of course, he runs a very good forum. I love posting on it. I love being on it. There's a lot of cool people on that forum. It's not like other forums where, people will call in and they'll show hatred instead of actually showing respect for their fellow man. I go out in the paranormal field. I respect paranormal investigators as much as they'll respect my methods, because there's no right or wrong way. There's just, what makes you a paranormal investigator is your character. If you got good character, you're going to get good ghost photos, as long as you put some character into what it is you're doing. But there's a lot of ghost groups, like I said. Like I was just talking about, they just like to sit around and do nothing. So anyways, as you heard, someone is bombing the chat room. There really isn't much you're going to be able to do. As long as you listen to, on myspace.com, AngelOfThyNight, you can go there and listen to the show. You can go to www.paranormalghostsociety.org and go into the radio program, and you can listen to the show from our widget there. You don't have to be in the chat room to listen to the show. And anybody who, tries to disrupt the show, it's because they're jealous. Only a jealous person would disrupt their radio show. And it's very hateful, and it's so childish, It's a shame these people can't just call on in and just confront me. You want to talk, we'll talk. But make it at least intelligent. Or hell, dirty is whatever. But anyways, as you just heard, I'm not going to be in the chat room the rest of the night. Which, it doesn't matter either way to me. So if you want to call in, you can call in our show. The show number is 255-030, and you can call up any of the numbers on Now Live, 702-357-3776. 702-357-4623. You can call us in on that number. Again, it's 702-357-4623. Call us up, then punch in the show ID, 255030, and I will patch your call on in. You are listening to Angel of Thy Night Radio. Coming up, we're going to have about 20 more minutes of show time, and then I'm going to close the show because I have a few other topics I want to talk about. Are you still with us, Millie?
Yeah, I'm still here. I have to go pretty soon, fortunately.
Okay. Well, the show will be over in a little bit, and you can always listen to the reruns down the road. Like I tell Mike Dijital all the time, what we'll do is we'll put them on a disc eventually so that everybody can listen to the episodes in order. Because I have a lot more plans to upgrade the show and stuff in the future. And of course, anybody that just plays games in the chat room is just, they don't realize that we can do the show from anywhere. Do it right from my you know what I'm saying? The show can be done from anywhere. It doesn't have to be done in that chat room, because when we take the episodes, they get sent out to YouTube and they get sent out to other services. But anyways, there was a person that had contacted me, and on a serious note, and I want to look at the website here because I want to inform people about it, but a Jason Pecker had contacted me. I'm sorry, man, Jason Pepper. Anyways, he is with a paranormal group. They are called ParanormalGuys.Inc. or Incorporated. And the website for that is ParanormalGuys.Weebly.com. They're another paranormal site. He looks pretty into the paranormal like me. I like to see that in other people. He looks like he's, like me, a very good founder, and looks like he wants to work together. And that's fine, If I will gladly work with other groups, on research in places or joint investigations, because I need the investigators too. We all need investigators to have a good paranormal investigation. So anyways, I just wanted to get the site up there. I wanted to thank him for letting me post my radio show on his group, because he has over 1,000 members, and I hope those members are able to tune in. Despite that the chat room is down, like I said, you can listen. This goes for anybody. You can listen to the show anytime. Mike Dijital and myself keep copies, and there's a few other people that keep copies of the show. Plus, we have it available to listen to on our website. So for anybody who's tuning in and who's new to our show, just keep that in mind, that you can go back to previous episodes. So anyways, now despite that I'm sitting here sweating in the desert, because I am in pretty much the desert, if you want to put it that way right now, it's funny because the only time I really come out in this is like 2 in the morning. Because 2 in the morning it's like 75, 80 degrees. But like the other day, or about 2 weeks ago, it was 129. At least that's what the bank said. It's probably an error, I was like, shit, man. I don't do well in heat. I could almost pass out tonight. But then some of you would not enjoy the hooker stories I got to share with you.
Oh, yeah.
See, the thing is that my whole life's a funny story. Because I like to meet people and interact with people. People intrigue me. But as much as they intrigue me, human beings also piss me off. Because people do stupid things. Kidnappers, all these people that are out there. There's just so many evil people in the world. But, I come to Las Vegas, and, I do the whole personal ad thing because, I want to meet people. I want to have a glass of wine overlooking Las Vegas, Who doesn't? Las Vegas, you're supposed to do those things. And all these girls that contact me, they're prostitutes. I get to their house, I think I'm going on a fucking date, I think I'm going to have some chocolate chip cookies and shit. It doesn't turn out to be chocolate chip cookies. It's like, how much you got in that pocket of yours? I'm like, what? What? I ain't got nothing in my pocket. I was at that hooker's house, and she threw me out because I touched her foot. And then she jumped a mile and ran. And was like, get out of my house. I gotta work early in the morning. She's a full-time whore. I was like thinking, yeah, you gotta work, you gotta bob on the fucking knob. That's what you gotta do. People are very weird in Vegas. Do you know something about Las Vegas? Is that everybody, including their grandmother, is almost, not everybody, but almost everybody I've talked to is a hooker here. And it is hilarious. I had some girl contact me that wanted to hang out. And she says at the end of the conversation, by the way, she goes, I'm a hooker. I'm like, what? You know, I think I'm talking to a normal girl, sounds normal on the phone. I'm thinking, wow, and this girl makes her money off pleasing guys.
Jeez.
And then I had somebody
every second is matchmaking for them.
Oh, yeah, well, if they lose every second, they worry. I'm not making enough.
Even saying hi is like a part of their job. If they're going to say, if they're going to wave at you at the streets, like they're already thinking they're going to make some money or something. Yeah.
She's using Craigslist to be a whore. She's going on Craigslist to be a prostitute. She doesn't come across like that because she doesn't act that way, but that's what she is. She goes, oh, I can make money off all these guys in Vegas. She goes, one guy gave me $100 to show my tits last week ago. You know, and the women in Vegas think that is the way to be. And I've had prostitutes galore write me this week. I had one girl that called me Ricky Baby. She's like, oh, Ricky Baby. Because I told her, I said, I ain't paying you to fuck you. That's exactly what I told her. I said, I am not paying to fuck you. And she turned around and said, what's wrong, Ricky Baby? Don't you want to accept my profession? I'll accept yours. And this girl's hitting on me, you know, and this girl's got ads up on Craigslist, and, you know, and it's like, man, that's not what the internet's about, you know? You go on a site like MySpace. You don't expect a prostitute to email you. You don't. So but in Las Vegas, this is Vegas, and what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. And that's the whole thing a lot of people just don't understand, is that Vegas is a country of its own. I love it here. But it's also an entrapment. Because a family member of mine went through all her money and started gambling and lost it all. And, you know, it causes fights within the household because a lot of people have gambling habits. I'm very lucky being as much as wild as I am that I don't have a gambling habit. I took my kids, instead of gambling, I took them to the movie Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, or whatever the hell it was called, and I liked it. I liked it because I think the movie really does they're on to something with it, with them crystal skulls, and even though people say they're fakes, not all of them are fakes. Some of them are thousands of years old.
They're really interesting.
They interest me more than anything else out in the world. Of course, if I could get my hands on it, I'd get my hands on the Ark of the Covenant. And I would also get my hand, if I even said it right, and I'd get my hands on the Holy Grail. All those artifacts are powerful, and they interest me. Whether they have some sort of energy or meaning, I don't know. But artifacts like that are very intriguing. It's like you want to know what makes them so powerful. And, of course, I took my kids to see the movie. Had the time of our life. I went to eat at Panda Express. I was drinking. I had gotten stoned with some blueberry smoke. Popped a couple pills from my back. I went in the movie with a smile on my face. It was the best movie. It was the best movie ever. At least one of the best I've seen in a long time. But anyways, for those that are out there listening, if you were in the chat room and it was doing that, we apologize. Sometimes it's better to listen to the show directly off our site. You know, we get people that harass the show, and you know, they just want to be like Lord Rick, and they can't, so they end up trying to cause problems. You know, and that's why earlier in the show I said that human beings need to be eradicated because human beings don't work together. Everybody, you know, nobody gets along. Countries are at war. There's murder. President Bush, he might be being impeached. It's already too late. He's got a few months to go, and they're talking about impeaching him. And now they're talking about taking him to court after his presidency.
Cool.
Well, they want to take him for war crimes because what he did. I mean, there's not much you're going to be able to do because once he's out of office, that's it. But what he did to this country can never be repaired. And if it is repaired, it's going to take at least 2 decades, at least 20 years to fix what's been done with the war and try to see if gas prices will go back down. You know, he's destroyed the country. And they want to take him to court.
I saw the article you sent in the group about a group of people want to name their sewer after Bush or something.
Oh, yeah.
It was in a article. Yeah, it was really funny. I liked it.
Yeah, that there was pretty, interesting. Well, see, the thing is, nobody really likes Bush. There are Bush supporters, but because people don't want to keep an open mind. But nobody really likes him because everybody knows what he's done. He's put this country into a recession. You can't go to the lake now on $5. It takes you $40 to go to the lake. Food goes up when gas goes up. And, prices at work, you're at work, you can't get, you make a raise, it all goes towards gasoline.
Yeah.
It's very hard to live in this country.
Really bad every single week.
I'm suffering, see, because I suffer from a back disability. So, trying to get something for it's the hardest thing because I don't get anything for it. I just end up injuring my back day in and day out because I think what it is when I was a child, I drank a lot of fucking milk, and it's caused my, I believe, my bones to weaken because calcium overdose. I was drinking a gallon a day. You can't drink a gallon a day and expect, it's too much calcium, and it'll cause back problems too, down like 10 years down the road. So me, a national TV show, it's everything for me because I can't fund my society in a couple more years if I don't have an income coming in. And a lot of people don't understand, our paranormal members are like, this guy wants donations. It's like we should be getting 100 donations a month because if I don't use the donations now, down the road I might decide to buy a $300 piece of equipment. It always goes, our donations always go towards our cause, and like when I was homeless, some of my members pulled through and they donated to me, and I was able to at least survive. I was able to buy food and things like that, and of course, to keep me healthy, keeps our paranormal group healthy. And people at that time didn't understand. It's like if I die in the fucking woods, there's not going to be a paranormal group because we have solid fans. Like I have this one girl, she's up in California, she researches for me. And my moderator, I've known for like 7 years. We have people that are really dedicated, and I love every one of them. They mean the world to me, those people. And that's why I still keep doing what I do, because I love those people. And there's nothing wrong with caring about certain people. And as a founder of my Paranormal and Ghost Society that I run, these people become like family. And of course, you do have bad people out there. They'll go and destroy the chat room and everything else. But what they don't realize is it's not going to change my investigation. Friday, I'm still going out investigating. And probably in another week I'll do another investigation with our society. It's hard for me to get back into it because don't get me wrong, I'm in very good shape. But when you're in the desert, you wear down very fast at night, very fast. Even though it's cool out, there's dry heat, and it just takes the wind out of you, especially if you're up in the desert and stuff. But, getting back into the investigating, it's a big step. This week alone, I have done site updates. I put the live from Las Vegas, Sacramento banners. I made those. We basically, you know, updated the site, our news section, our meetup section. Yeah, in a little bit. But anyways.
Well, I do have to go right now. I'm sorry about that. But good luck in the investigation.
No, it's okay. It got
fine.
broken up because, huh?
All right. No. I didn't say anything. Sorry.
I thought you were saying I'm sorry to me. But anyways, we got a lot of site updates done. And it's looking good. We got our meetup tomorrow night. And anybody who wants to attend is at 8 p.m. at the New York Casino at 9-5 Irishman Lounge, which overlooks the Strip in Las Vegas. They got all kinds of Irish desserts, Irish treats, Irish meals, great food.
Hi, is this Lord Rick?
This is the Lord, yes.
Oh,
who's this?
Do you know who this is? I think you remember me. My name's Matt. I went by Pathwalker.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, man. You changed.
Yeah, I was from the New York region when you were still there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I changed my screen name. Yeah, I'm out in the Kansas area right now, doing a little time.
Kansas? What part of Kansas?
What you been up to, dude?
Not much.
I'm in the federal prison area.
Okay.
Yeah, the federal prison area. I don't know if you heard. I got sent to jail for having kiddie porn.
I don't know, man.
Did you hear about that?
No, I really don't keep up well on the updates. I'm kind of stoned most of it.
You didn't? No, you didn't. How did you not hear about that? That was all over the papers, dude. The Mobile police in Alabama. I was there originally. But what they did, they arrested me because I got caught fucking a minor. She was 13, dude, but she was tight as hell. Oh, man.
You know, it's always funny how everybody has a story to tell. But you know, the whole thing is that I don't remember you. See, I'm stoned most of the time. So I'm very sorry.
Well, that's no excuse,
I just want to apologize.
I'm like a celebrity, dude. I'm a celebrity in the rapist field.
I'm a celebrity too. Did you know I went to the concert? And from Jane's Addiction, I met the lead singer. And next time I go back, I can go backstage with him. I'm a celebrity too.
Well, no shit. That's a great band. That's a great band. Be proud of yourself. You're also a world-renowned ghost hunter. Shit's not easy to get.
Well, like I said, I don't consider myself world-renowned. I consider myself well-known. I think a lot of people who, like yourself, calling in the show, have a lot of commitment to our organization. To be able to call in and keep up, talk with me, and all that. It's great, man. Have a lot of commitment to our organization. To be able to call in and keep up, talk with me, and all that. It's great, man. Have a lot of commitment to our organization. To be able to call in and talk with me, and all that.
I'm getting a little bit of feedback here, dude.
Yeah, I'm getting a little feedback too.
Yeah, it's not my thing. You gamble? I love gambling. What's your favorite game? Mine's blackjack.
Mine's roulette.
Roulette? It's still a good game.
We went to go play
Old people, though, they play that a lot.
Oh, yeah, well, we won a lot of money a few days ago, but my friend put it all back on the roulette.
How much did you win?
$20.
How much did you win? What's going on there, dude? You got control of the show?
Oh, no, I could control it right now. I don't want to control it. Do you know why? Take a guess why.
Why is that?
Anything that anybody does that's funny boosts my ratings.
Yep.
Jeez. So
That's
anyone
true.
who's ever doing that, it's just boosting it for me, man. I mean, I don't have to run the room because, see, our show's on. So we don't really care what you say or what you do. It's your own ass.
Your shield no longer triggers the global cooldown.
Fucking Mr. T.
Yep,
I'm Mr. T and I'm a night elf.
what's that in the background there?
What? I'm a night elf.
Krypton Savage.
Anyways, Rick, dude, I got a question for you.
What the hell's going on here?
What's your question?
Okay, seriously, guys. It is brilliant, but that's going to drive the cranky Shadow Priest that much crankier.
What?
Your voice.
Yeah, I was hearing voices in the background there.
Is that on your end?
I think they're gone now. Yeah, they're gone. Okay, so, you know how I got, yeah, I told you about how I'm in prison right now. I'm over in Mobile, for the whole child raping thing. I got a question for you. I know you got a son, about 13 years old. Do you want to donate him to my cause? About 13 years old. Do you want to donate him?
Who's 18?
Okay, just cute if he's annoying you. Well, maybe Mr. T hacked the game.
Wish we had
It's not even funny, man.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Mr. T hacked the game. Like I was saying, I'm Mr. T and I'm a night
I got all night, so it doesn't matter to me.
Pretty entertaining.
Unfortunately,
Really disturbing.
So, wait,
I don't find it funny at certain times.
Rick,
Maybe Mr. T is pretty handy
so
with the
Rick, if I understand you correctly, you're going to let a convicted child rapist fuck your kid. Is that correct?
It's great to see a learning
I really want him.
right click on his name and then go to whatever it was, the second option. You'll be able to click and make it go away. Right click on his name.
Hey, who's this hot bitch in the air right now?
Like I was saying, I'm Mr. T and I'm a night elf more. I'm a night elf more. I'm a night elf more.
Fucking kidding me.
You work, you can go on two people, it doesn't work.
Shut up. I'm a night elf.
Fucking kidding me.
You can work, you can go on two people, it
I'm
doesn't
a
work.
night. Shut up.
Hello?
I love the sound of silence.
So Rick, back to my question.
Weird.
Being
I know.
being
Millie.
that
you know
you know,
this person, Millie?
I'm sorry. I really can't hear
Matt,
anything because this person's just...
being that
Sorry? I really can't hear anything.
being that is this Rick's son?
What if I can prison and cheat out? What if I can prison out? It's kind of creepy.
So Rick, can I fuck your kid?
It's kind of creepy.
Betty, can I have a threesome with you and your kid? Can I fuck your kid? Betty, can I have a threesome with you and your kid?
Here's what we're going to do next time on our episodes. We're going to change the features and not allow anybody to call in. In other words, it doesn't ruin the show. It allows me to talk. So all those people that are messing around, you'll never get to call in again. You ruined it for yourself. See, the nice thing about it is that I don't have to censor people, except when you act like a jackass is what you're going to get in return. So anyways, as I was saying before all the music, we did a lot of website updates, and we changed a lot of things around. Some of the website updates are just little things like where our meetup's going to be, we added some of the investigations we're going to be doing. We're slowly updating and revising the site, and I want to get my urban exploring group back up and running on my site, which is not working right now because we got to upgrade it. And anyways, if anybody's interested in going on the caves investigation, they got a secret passage door, and I've been trying to figure out how to open it 10 years ago, and I would like to try to see if we can open it again. It's like I said, there's some pretty interesting little things about this cave, and I'd love to show it off to some other explorers out there. And anyways, I kind of wanted to, I touched base last time on the show about the Last Supper, okay? The Last Supper I did with Mary and Joseph. Well, guess what? There's going to be another Last Supper, okay, because I'm on the verge of being kicked out here, all right? So, and when I sit down tonight and eat dinner with everybody, and if they lose it and throw me out tonight, that is the Last Supper. I hate to say it, but it is. I am in such a crazy mood tonight. Are you crazy, Las Vegas members? Are you crazy to party with the Paranormal Ghost Society? Well, if you are, come on out tomorrow, 8 p.m., 9-5 Fine Irishman Lounge. New York Casino, down on the strip of Las Vegas. Meet your host and your paranormal founder, Lord Rick. Okay, and anyways, I would like to put out a special little notification to anybody who's promoting music. I'd like you to promote Mike Dijital. I think his music's pretty good. I think he's got talent. Some of the songs that we play are his own work of art. So if you're interested in hearing more of him, he's trying to get, I guess, well, he's not out there anymore, but a band going together. And he's got Becky, and she's a pretty good singer. I really think she's got the voice to sing. I listen to a lot of music, and I'd be willing to promote the both of them on my show, not just because they're my friends, but because it's a very good thing to do. Everybody needs a shot in life. Everybody needs a chance, I need my chance at the paranormal just as much as some artist needs his chance to play his music at a concert. But everybody does deserve a chance. And that's what the Paranormal Ghost Society is about. We're an organization that's based on chances. We'll take a chance. We'll let you join the team if this is what interests you. We're a group that respects everybody. And those people that go into the chat room and the people that harass our show, the only reason why that they actually do that is because they don't want to be a man about it. They don't want to face me. They think that it ruins the show, and it doesn't ruin the show. Everything you do as members, calling in the show, telling your stories, you're boosting my ratings. We want to thank you. That just gets us more hits on YouTube. It's what we're looking for. The crazier, the better. You want to call in the show and be crazy? Help me out. Call in and be crazy. But I'll hang up on you. And then, it sucks because then you got to call in again. And it doesn't suck for me because I call in 10 times tonight. It's my show. What do I care? Like I said, it's a win-win situation. So anyways, we got our first investigation Friday. And, of course, after that investigation, I will talk about the next one on my next episode. We'll probably do two to three investigations every couple of weeks. What I'm going to start actually doing, as far as the investigations go, is we're going to start off slow because I want to see how many people in Las Vegas are into the urban exploring. The West Coast hasn't been as explored as much as the East Coast. There's some really good urban explorers out east. And out west, a lot of people are like, what is urban exploring? And urban exploring, is just that. There is some beauty to the photography and the idea of you never know what to expect. It's the suspense of going into a place and trespassing. Mike Dijital knows what I'm talking about. He is a very good urban explorer. And he did go to bed tonight, but I still like to advertise Daggy 5 because they're a great group. Nobody's rude to me. Everybody responds to my post. I mean, that's, like I said, that's a great thing. And people, that takes a lot of respect when people can get along and unite and work together. And as far as the Paranormal Guys, Inc. goes, you guys are more than welcome to get in touch with me if you want to exchange links with the Paranormal and Ghost Society organization. When I get down to business, I get down to business. That's the whole thing. And, right now is a very good time for me to get on some other topics before we close the show. And, of course, this is the second part of the show, and we'll go ahead and I'm doing the second part right now. Earlier during the show, I was talking about the sins of the Lord. And I told you I thought about the eradication of mankind. And then I go on to, I guess you could say, number 2, my sin is I got busted by security in a park. Guess what I was doing in the park? Does any of you know?
Masturbating.
Yeah, well, that too. If you don't do it in front of your woman, you got something wrong with you. So anyways, the security guard was going to give me a ticket and call the cops, and he let me go because he seen me kissing up on a girl. And he said, "You love birds out for a stroll?" I was like, "Yeah, we're out for a stroll, man." But the funny thing is he was probably wild.
How old was the girl?
Oh, in her 20s, man. Why, is she too old for you?
Well, that works. Yes, she is.
And, of course, then I go on to tell my story about how I touched a hooker's foot earlier this week. But, like I said, I had to get a free feel in there somehow. I moved a lot of boxes, So anyways, as far as the people out in California who've been listening to my show for my widget, I already have 2 investigators for the Sacramento area. And anyways, I have 2 investigators out in Sacramento, and those investigators are very committed to the group. I've actually met the one. The other one I talk to consistently. She's finding some good places, abandoned places to explore. A lot of places out in California that sit up in the mountains, just abandoned houses, lounges, and things like that we're going to be checking into when I get back up there. Of course, that's down the road. We're looking at, at least next year.
What you like me, are you lame?
Mm-hmm. You want to fucking play, we'll fucking play. Every show will be muted, and I will be the only one talking, with me not in the chat room, which means you will not be able to call in and respond to anything I fucking say. So therefore, you'll never, ever be able to call in the show again and fucking harass me and play your little fucking tunes. You want me to fucking be a nice fucking founder, or do you want me to be an asshole? Which one do you want? Like I said, a bunch of little fucking bitches. You got a fucking problem with me, you take it out with me. That's the way it works in my society. You fucking meet me face to face and you take it out. Not over, now live. This is AngelOfThyNight, Paranormal Radio. And this is your host, Lord Rick. And as you can see, the fun continues in Las Vegas. And of course, we'll just have to go ahead and change those settings on our radio show, and we'll take away everybody's right to call on the show. And the only ones that'll be patched through will be Mike Dijital and Millie. So is this how it's going to go down? 1, 2, calling 3. Not cool, man. But I understand human nature, and I understand that the Pope, the priest, the pastors, they sin.
Fucking right.
But we understand that you are a sinner too. Just like me, I am a sinner. I fucked a taken girl. I am a sinner.
Oh my God, I'm feeling all my dreams.
And it was your girlfriend. if you want to do a fake voice, at least do it intelligently. Because, man, if you got to hide from the Lord, you must fear me. Because all I have to do is hang up and call back. You must fear me. Because all I have to do is hang up and call back. You must fear me. Because all I have to do is hang up and call back. You must fear me. Because all I have to do is hang up and call back.
Well, anyways, Lord Rick, I have framed pictures of your kids naked. They're staying the jizz. Can I get new ones?
everybody has stayed in the chat room, and I have regained control of it, so I'm very sorry about that. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to start booting everybody out of this room. Which one should I boot? Ryan Skelly? Goodbye. There we go. It's handled. Now let's see you try to call in. Anybody going to call in the show now? No, I didn't upload those photos. But I can delete all the pics. The sad thing about it is Now Live, what people aren't realizing, Now Live tracks everything. So any illegal photos, porn photos, any talks of underage or anything illegal is illegal, and Now Live will prosecute. I won't prosecute, but I will tell you right now, those that are doing it, keep this in mind. that everything, all pictures must get, when they get deleted, they still get traced by Now Live, because Now Live saves them in their archives as proof. It's just part of the disclaimer that we sign. But no, I did not post the photos for my fans and anybody who wants to know. You know, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny how we get people that send in these pictures and they can't even just, you know, call on the show and be cool. Smoke one, man. Just be honest. We're almost through all the pictures. And I have saved the pictures and forwarded them to as well. Bear with me, folks. I know what happened. I actually hung up on the show and I recalled in and changed all the settings. Nobody can no longer call on the show. All the haters, all the people doing it, they've lost their privilege to call on the show freely. And they're going to kick themselves in the ass, because the thing is, I will let anybody on the air as long as the people act within reason. Okay, who else is in the chat room? Hitboy, Millie, Guest. The guest is not speaking, the guest has got to go. There we go. It's done. One of the things I love about this show is the control. And Lord Rick is back in the helm. And you are listening to Angel of Thy Night Radio. And we're back. And we're going to wrap up this show, but we're going to do it in flying colors. It's always good to be positive. You know, a few people have always taught me, some of my other paranormal members, that no matter what bad happens, it's that you make the best of the situation. Even on a paranormal investigation. So what if it rains? If you're out there hiking, you make the best of it. You're with your friends. See, that's one thing about paranormal investigating. You haven't done a paranormal investigation unless you're willing to rough it. Sleeping in a cemetery, sleeping at a campground, sleeping wherever. You know, I used to sleep. I've slept near a cemetery or in a cemetery, you know, and that's what turns out a good investigation. It's when you are out there and you're willing to put a little bit more into what you're doing. Now, I'm not sitting there saying, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who go vandalize and harass or desecrate these places, but I'm saying you go in these places and, you know, you really work hard at it. You want to get an apparition on film, set the cameras up. Walk around with the cameras. Take 500 photos. Go through 4 or 5 rolls of film. You gotta put out productivity if you're going to get pictures of ghosts. And I seen an article on entities. And, you know, I'm not just talking about sexual entities, all right? I'm talking about entities, ghost, Casper, the things that go boo. The article, it actually talks about I don't even know how to put this, because it freaks people out when you tell them this, but ghosts watch others in the shower. Not a perversion thing, but the shower itself. And in other words, you know, if you're sitting in the shower, let's say, and you're bathing yourself, you ever get those chills where your hair stands up in the back of your neck and you turn around and you look and there's nothing there? It's just like that, you know. There are ghosts that watch a human being anywhere that they are in the house. The closet, the bedroom, while you're sleeping, in the shower. This article goes on. It's a scientific article about ghosts watching nudity within humans. And, you know, the whole thing about it is that it is very real. And it does happen, and I've heard of cases of it happening. And, you know, with this show tonight, I'm sorry that it's been 3 parts for all of you. I'm sorry that these people had to do that and send out death photos and porn. It's part of the risk you take when you go into our chat room. It's not something you need to pay attention to. Just turn on your speakers, close out the chat room. Don't read what's in the chat room. You're only here to listen to the show. And from now on, no callers are going to be allowed to call in unless I put them on and I know them. And that'll be our new policy. And as far as people that were in our chat room disrupting it, you guys just lost the war. You lost to Lord Rick. You guys lost your freedom. I've censored you. This is a no-censorship fucking show. I have censored you. You can't call in the fucking show. Boy, I'll tell you, you people are real fucking... people must got fucking sausage for brains, man. I smoke more than you. I party more than you. Speaking of partying, the founder of LSD has died. Yes, you heard me. LSD, the drug that makes you go, whoa. He has died. It was in the newspaper. I do read the newspaper. And as far as these people, that disrupt our show, you guys don't read the newspaper. I still got you beat on the education. And I didn't go to college. But I am the host of AngelOfThyNight Radio. And I am finishing strong tonight. You bet your fucking ass I am. And anybody who's still listening, the Lord is back. Hallelujah. Meet up tomorrow, Investigation Friday. And you might think, this Lord Gert guy, he must be insane. He's a whack job. But you haven't been on an investigation with me. I will take you to another place. I will take you to another world. Whether I take you to heaven or I take you to hell. And I asked the guy that I live with, I said, do you want to go to hell? Would you be pissed if we found a portal and I pushed you through hell? Because I was like, just imagine you got to spend your entire eternity with me in hell. He's all looking at me weird. He's like, hell? He's like, I don't want to go to no fucking cave. He's all scared and shit. He's being scared. He won't go with me to the gateway to hell. Can you believe that? But anyways, this is AngelOfThyNight. And some people call me Lord Rick. Some people call me Angel. Some people call me Richard. Well, Millie's the only one that calls me Richard. I think the only one I like to call me Richard is you, Millie. And I know you must be still out there listening. It's always nice to have you on my show. And I would patch you through if you wanted to call right now, but I have walked away from my studio because I like to go outside in the desert at night, and I like to just sit here. And I'm doing the show, and I'm sitting out here under a starry sky right now, and I can't ask for more. I have just won over these people. I have just won. Because now they are muted. And they can never call our show again. And they lost their right to be funny and get on the air. No more attention. It's over, guys. Game over. Like I said, you can turn me into a fucking asshole if you want. And when some people say Lord Rick's an asshole, you're right. But I'm not. I just grew around it. I am Lord Rick. And this is AngelOfThyNight, Paranormal Radio. And tonight we've covered a lot of topics. We've had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. I was pretty stoned in the beginning of the show. The reason why we lost control of our chat room is the power had went down on the computer and it was reset and we could not run our chat room. But like I said, all shows are pre-recorded. And then what we do is we put all the episodes together. We put them all together and then we display them on YouTube so you can listen to them from your iPhone. We put them on disc, and we also put them on our website. So even if you miss an episode, you can always listen to our episodes years from now down the road. We're always going to make them available to the public. Of course, keep in mind, what you do on Now Live is at your own risk. If you post pornography that's illegal, they're going to prosecute you, not me. They're the host. All I am is the show. I direct the show, and I'm here to entertain you guys, and I'm in here to entertain my listeners. And there's a lot of people that want to shut us down, and the only reason why they shut us down is because they know we're a success. But see, it doesn't matter. There's so many other sites that will host us, and we got so much talent. Mike Dijital He's been urban exploring for many years. Millie, she understands the paranormal a lot. She understands how my organization runs. I mean, that's the one thing I have to say about her. And, you know, these people that call my show, they're great people. But the ones that call in and they try to disrupt the sound, do you know why they're doing that? Because they fear the Lord. They just don't understand what the Lord is about. I'm about kindness, spirituality, love, family, token a few, hanging out, friendship, sex, rock and roll, drugs, the stars, the moon, the universe. I am just about that. And I love what I do. I'll be back to investigating Friday. I got quite a few tight people in my community now. People I've met, people who want to investigate, people who want to hang out. I got a lot going on. And I appreciate Daggy5 welcoming me to their community and accepting me. I appreciate them. You know, I could always use good karma, guys, but I appreciate the fact that Mike Digital runs a great board where he allows me to post paranormal things freely. That's, like I said, that's terrific. It's nice to see some communities are coming together. And anybody that came off UER to harass me tonight, you know, you people just don't get it. I succeed. No matter what you do, I succeed. So what, you ruin the chat room? So what, you disrupt the show? I still succeeded. I got what I wanted tonight. You've done me a favor. Okay, because calling in my show and talking about that, you know, this is what it's about. I'm here to handle you nutcases. You nutcases. When I say nutcases, these people calling on the show, you're a nutcase. And I'm here to make you sane. I am the psychologist, okay? I am the fucking psychologist. And I'm a very temperamental Italian psychologist, okay? That's what I am. I am the psychologist. You call on my show, it's because you're disturbed. When you try to disrupt and you try to play all this music and you post death pictures and porn pictures, you're the disturbed one. Me, I'm just the Lord of the show. I'm hosting the show, and like I said, running a show, it's one of the hardest things to do. But all you fans out there who keep listening, I love you, and I'd love to smoke with you, and I'd love to hang with you, and have a few brews. That's what it's about, man. About getting together, about having a couple brews. That's living. But anyways, this is AngelOfThyNight, Paranormal Radio, and this is your host, Lord Rick. And I hope you're enjoying tonight's show. It's pretty weird to be able to do a show out in the middle of the desert like this, out in the middle of Las Vegas. I mean, we've done shows everywhere. We've done shows in Daytona Beach. We've done shows in Jackson, California. We've done shows right here in Las Vegas. And those people disrupting the show, they know we got it going on. We fucking rule, man. We fucking rule. And Lord Rick still prevails. I'm sorry, Pathfinder, that you won't be able to call in for the finishing of the show. I'm very apologetic. It must really hurt deep down inside to know that the show's continuing on and you can't call in. Darn. Motherfucker. Like I said, who's the Lord now, bitch? This is a great show. I just tell it like it is. And I know some people don't like my methods, but you know what's strange? My members still donate to me. No matter how dirty this show is, no matter how eccentric I am, they still donate. Because that is what being a community is about. You help each other out. You want the shirt off my back? I give you the shirt off my back anytime, as long as you're willing to do the same for me. This is AngelOfThyNight, Paranormal Radio. And I have talked tonight about the sins of the Lord. I have talked about tonight the paranormal. I have talked about tonight urban explorations, future adventures. And in a few months, we're going to rock and roll. I'm going to try to get up to California by Halloween, get in a place. We're going to do those tunnels for Halloween. I'm going to try to make an effort to do the tunnels. so that we can bring a nice spooky adventure for around the Halloween season for our fans and members. And we'll go in there, I got a camera, we'll do some videotaping, we'll do some live videos, whatever it takes. But we're going to turn out some good places out here in Vegas, and we're going to turn out some good places in California. You know, somebody said, you know, you got a potty mouth, Lord Rick. I said, I fucking know. I was like, yeah, I know. We're an uncensored show. But see, what I didn't mention is I can censor you, and if you abuse your rights when you call in on this show, you will be censored permanently. And I've done just that tonight. And of course, you can bitch and moan in the chat room. I'm not even looking at it. Doesn't matter to me. Chat room's the least of my problems. You can't save chats for years and years. You can't do it. There's no way. But you definitely can save this show. And this show can be played 10 years from now. I mean, there's a lot of radio shows out there. And, you know, some of them have been around for 3-4 years. You know, you could listen to their episodes 3 years ago. And we're hoping that with this show you'll do the same, that you'll sit there and you'll be dedicated fans to what we do, which is the paranormal, urban exploring. But we also like to help other people. And I do this show because I want to make people laugh. I want people to laugh. Fuck yeah. We want you to be happy. You are, whoa, that was not cool. I think I just stepped on a scorpion or something. Only Lord Rick could do those things. But this is a good show. And we have some problems outside, so the Lord is going to go back into the studio, and we're going to see who else we can block who's uploading pictures, shall we? Okay, we're back. Very interesting tonight. Are you still there, Millie? It's just you and I in the chat room. If you can hear me. It seems like a lot of people have been having problems with sound and stuff on the radio show. Okay, cool. She can hear me. I got rid of most of the riffraff. We're going to change the show status, actually. What we're going to do from now on is I'm going to mute all callers. And then, like, my moderators, my members, and then my friends can call in the show. So I think that'll be a good idea, and I think a lot of the members will appreciate that, too. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap up the show. It's pretty crazy that you're the only one who's lasted through it. I wanted to talk about a lot more articles, but I think I'm going to close it on up. I think we've had a really good show, except for the person that had called in. But that's just the way it goes. We get crazy fans of Lord Rick, and we get crazy paranormal members, and then we get some people who just they can't stand the way we investigate, or they can't stand our eccentricism. And I know that's not a word, I made it up, but, the open-mindedness is what scares people. And it causes them to act that way, where they go in a room and they just put so much time and energy into doing this. And they don't realize that, what is the point? It's not funny. None of the people in the room like it. All it's going to do is just show more and more that there's people out there who are just complete fucking mules to society. And, the reason why they probably don't see nothing of the paranormal kind is because they don't respect it. And, we are very respectful to the paranormal. When we get into a place and we take EVP, we're not joking around. We're not fucking saying fuck you and being loud. We're going into places, we're sitting down, we're exploring, we're climbing, we're walking across beams 50 feet up, ladders. We're going in these places and we're taking pictures. We're taking EVPs. I wanted to thank all my members who showed up tonight for the show. And I know a lot of people had left the chat room when I did some censorship, but it's really not censorship. I'm just altering the rules from now on in the chat room, which will only allow certain callers to call in. And unfortunately, it doesn't ruin it. It helps us. Because, of course, the people we want calling in are people from Daggy 5, from the Paranormal and Ghost Society. And if you're not on Daggy 5 and you're not on the Paranormal and Ghost Society and you're not a personal friend, chances are, anyways, you shouldn't be calling in the show. Because the people that are outsiders that are calling in from the show, they think they're funny and they just don't know what good entertainment and good comedy is. What I do is good entertainment and comedy. And that's what I'm here for. I host the show to make it funny, to make it comical. But anyways, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to close up the show. We're going to play our song, singing, just like I said, I went to see the lead singer from Jane's Addiction. I mean, I was sitting there, I was smoking up in the stage. He was smiling at me. I mean, they had girls up there sexy dancing. It was a great concert, a great show. Drinking, smoking. I had girls dancing all over me. I was at the front stage the whole night. I mean, it was just great. Just totally great concert. And I've been having fun in Vegas. We've been going out and been doing all kinds of stuff. If the gambling don't get you, I don't gamble, but a lot of other people around me do like to gamble, and I've seen them blow $400 or $500 in one night, and it's like, man, I could be putting that sort of money towards our society, and towards what we do and towards the radio show. And I'm going to close out the show. The show's in 3 parts. Every part's interesting. Everybody had a good night, folks. And this is Lord Rick of Angel of Thy Night Radio.